I'm Swallies, an Eternus 6 player, but who cares about that? This tier list is here to help you pick heroes that actually fit your playstyle and help you win more games. Whether you're back from a break or just new to the game, it's for players who want reliable, easy to learn heroes without massive time investment. Because not everyone has the time after school, work or family to learn every hero. I'll briefly talk about what an Eternus Plus tier list would look like at the end. So if you're interested in that or just want to see how different it might look, stick around. A small disclaimer, this is for solo ranked play. This list would look slightly different when playing with a duo or more, and if there was a draft system. Also, you can reach Eternus, Ascendant or whatever your goal is on any hero. So play what is the most fun for you. Now let's begin with Abrams. Abrams has naturally high health and regens some of the damage he receives. You can use his charge to close the distance to enemies and stun them to do good amount of burst damage. You can also use this to interrupt enemy ults like Haze or McGinnis. With his first ability you get lifesteal that just helps you tank even more, and you'll be the never dying frontline for your team. Good hero to pick if you like being the tank, i.e. A tier. I'm struggling to put Apollo in the correct tier. He's fairly straightforward to play and very mobile. Kind of like a mosquito that really tries to kill his enemies by stabbing them over and over again. You can dominate your laning phase with him and burst down enemies during mid-game. Just make sure to stay alive and not overcommit a chase. Maybe takes a tiny bit more time than other heroes to get the hang of, but nothing too crazy. I'll put him in high B tier. Bebop will always be a wildcard. Either you go 1 in 14 or carry the game if you get enough bomb stacks. He offers probably the most versatile playstyle in the game. You can build for his bombs to one-shot people in late game, try to literally laser people down with his gun, or build him to be the ultimate bruiser. Or even a mix of all three. If you can land your hooks on enemies, it gets really easy to force a lead for your team. Not in the best position in the current meta, but definitely playable. Lower B tier. One character that is fairly easy to play is Billy. Once you jump people, just stick to them and mow them down with a good mix of burst damage, quick melees and his weapon. Enemies will have a hard time trying to escape you on Billy. His ult is great to pull enemies closer for your team and close enough for you to melee them. Also one of the strongest tanks this patch. S tier. The cat lady Calico is a get in, get out kind of hero. You'll go in when your cooldowns are up and burst people down in a second with your combo. She also got a big buff on her second ability that generates souls if enemies die after you hit them with your slash. You really start snowballing once you get ahead on souls and jump people out of nowhere. Just make sure you buy Dispel Magic and cleanse any silence or slowing hex. High S tier and a free win if you really master her. Celeste has some great damage output, but also you need to understand the fundamental movement mechanics first to really excel on this hero. This is a hero that I just wouldn't recommend to new players, even though she can be extremely good. D tier. Doorman probably got one of the biggest buffs this patch. His spell hits like a truck with a very lenient damage radius that makes it fairly easy to hit them. You are a menace in lane by just poking people even if they are trying to hide behind cover, and his ult can remove any enemy carry from the fight. Great utility and damage hero, combine knockdown with your ult to guarantee them being stunned and not be able to escape. Our second hero in free win. Drifter is a scary gun carry with a good burst and insanely high damage output on his M1. You do more damage to isolated heroes and even scale with every kill or assist on solo targets, making you a 1v1 demon, with the ability to track down people and TP behind them. You do have limited range on your shots, but when you get close, you melt anyone in seconds. His ult is also an incredible teamfighting tool, limiting the vision range of enemies, making it almost impossible for them to help their teammates. S tier. Dynamo shines with survivability on his heal and quantum entanglement to get yourself and teammates out of almost anything the enemy throws at you. A great ult that can decide entire games and good damage on his stomp. I know 6-man ults are really cool, but not needed to win games. If you get 2 and make it a 4v6 for your team, that's most of the time good enough to create a lead that will win you games. You also do insane amount of damage with the Stomp. Mechanically easy hero to play that disrupts enemy movement while helping his team. Lower S tier. Graves is a mechanically easy hero to play with auto-aim, but limited range. You can push objectives really well with your ult, and when you get close to enemies, you do win most 1v1s, but this patch favors heroes that have good mobility and can outrange or avoid her completely, making her frustrating to play sometimes. Easy to play, but sadly not great at the moment. C tier. Talon is a flying burst hero that shoots highly damaging arrows, paired with an ult that can fly across the map to assist your team and finish enemies that thought they escaped with their lives. You do big damage with those arrows, but if you miss 1 or 2, you miss out on the potential to have an impact in fights. Fun hero to play and pick up, B tier. Haze is probably as simple as it gets in Deadlock. Very easy hero, as your main damage is just shooting at the target in front of you. She's a bit squishy, but if you play her well, you can shred through entire teams. Paired with a silence or curse, you can jump people 1v1 with your ult for easy kills or stay behind your front line to deal heavy damage. If you like shooting and not worry about anything else, Haze is for you. Easy S tier. Holiday is another hero where you really need to learn movement first to really have an impact. And even then you get outperformed by most other heroes this patch. You really need to put in the time to learn, and she's just not that good at the moment. D tier. Infernus is technically one of the easier heroes to play once you understand his burn. Once you apply the passive and keep them burning, the health will rapidly go down with minimal room to actually counter it. Really good for people who like to apply debuffs to people and just watch them suffer. S tier. Ivy has an overall well-rounded kit, an insane AoE damage ability to clear waves, camps, or even root enemies. Pair her with a vortex web and people will not be able to escape you. She's a great split pusher as well and can easily take down walkers if no one is watching and get out with her ult, or go help her team within a few seconds. Probably got overbuffed this patch and deserves the free win tier. Kelvin is another hero that got buffed. He got great spirit scaling on all of his abilities. Easy to play, ability focused hero that melts people with his ice beam and damages enemies while also healing himself or teammates with his grenade. If you use Ice Storm to isolate enemies together with your team, you get an easy kill with no counterplay. A strong and easy to learn hero. S tier. Geist is in a spot where she's not bad but not good. Very annoying to kill with her ult and constant healing, but her damage is lacking compared to other heroes. Straight in the middle of B tier. Lash is one of those heroes that has probably the most potential to clutch teamfights with its ult. But that alone will not win you games all the time. Hard to master his movement and slam, but if you do, he's a menace. B tier if you are fairly new to the game, and A tier if you put in the time to actually learning him. McGinnis is probably the hero that improved the most this patch. Your turrets pack a punch and laser people down if they do not kill your turrets, but the most broken thing about her currently is her ult. One of the highest damaging ults in the game that can hit multiple people and in a really big radius as well, while also slowing anyone on hit. You can easily melt down multiple opponents in seconds. Another hero in the free win tier. Mina can be an absolute bully in lane with her burst damage. You delete half the HP of enemies in mid-game with your combo, but she's one of the squishiest heroes in the game, and you'll get killed instantly if out of position. She's harder to learn because you need to analyze fights to see how and where you can actually start fighting without getting killed. B tier. Mirage, another easy character to pick. He has a simple kit and can escape with his tornado or lock people in place with it instead. Great split pusher, as he can just stay in a side lane or join team fights with his ult across the map. Got the really good buff, but still struggles as a lot of his damage comes from his passive that needs time to stack, and with the current meta heroes that just focus on burst damage, he dies before he really does a lot of damage. C tier. The infamous duo Mo and Krill have a very strong ult. You can disable almost any other hero with just one button. Taking out their carries before or during a teamfight is crucial. You can invade the enemy's jungle with a teammate and look for a target to kill. He also has great sustain and is incredibly hard to kill. One of the easiest heroes to play that does incredibly well no matter which rank you are currently playing in. Mo and Krill can really give you free wins. Now the best support in the game, Paige. Her entire kit is perfectly tailored to assist your team. Hair knockdown to guarantee a snare, or vortex web to root entire teams, or directly stun all of them while healing your team with your ult. Just a well-rounded hero that helps your frontline with shields and heal, or assist carries to easily finish targets. S tier. Paradox is harder to consistently perform well. You really need to understand when to be at the correct place and pick off targets. She did get a good buff and disrupts enemies with her abilities while dealing great damage. Just not that easy to play as you really need to hit your abilities. B tier. Pocket is annoying to play against, but to be good on him, you really need to invest time to master his kit. You need to know his matchups, and he is difficult to play, not recommended for newer players. C tier. The adorable little creature, Ram, is a great heal support with one of the most unique soul-gathering strategies and incredible useful ult. A mechanically easy character to play, and if you're sneaky enough, you can steal all the sinner sacrifices from your enemy team. His helpers basically split push a lane without Ram being on that lane, and the souls get split between your teammates, forcing one enemy to always clear waves if they don't want to lose objectives. Strong, but not broken. High A tier. 7 has incredible push potential and farming speed. He's a very easy to understand hero, and he thrives by getting more souls than anyone else on the map, as his main damage scales of fire rate and spirit, so you can utilize most items in the game. Make sure to take waves and farm camps with lightning balls to get ahead. You have a timed stun on cooldown that can interrupt ults or make it easy to chase down targets that try to escape you. His ult is the best for area denial, making it really hard for enemies to fight if you decide to use it. This hero is for people who want to get stronger and stronger until they become an unstoppable force. S tier. Shiv is one of those heroes that can shine in chaotic teamfights, with constantly dealing damage and staying alive in the middle of enemy team. He's easy to play, but getting high value comes from understanding when to fight with your team and not go in solo. A good tank bruiser that deals high damage and survives for a long time in teamfights. A tier. Silva is a hit or miss. On paper she's really strong, but a lot of newer people struggle with her and don't know how and when to engage with her ult. Fairly straightforward character and somewhat easy to play, but I cannot put her higher than C tier since most counters to her are currently meta, and she suffers from a similar problem to Graves, where she cannot reach most enemies to have an impact. Sinclair has one of the hardest skill shots to hit, so it can be really inconsistent damage, but if you hit him, you do a lot of it. He's more of a utility champ and does great with good team coordination, but as a solo in lower ranked, I wouldn't recommend playing him. His greatest strength lies in stealing enemy ults, and there are currently good ults in the meta heroes in the newest patch, but hard to play for newer players. C tier. Ventor is a basic M1 carry that can take some hits before going down. He has a stun and knockback to push people into his traps and shoot them down or land a free heavy melee. Easy to play but hard to get consistent value out of his abilities. A tier. Victor is as simple as spam your buttons whenever they are available and stand next to the enemy. You'll be incredibly hard to kill once you get all of the lifesteal you need and just by movement to stick to any unfortunate soul that you decide to go for. He does insane damage to anyone around him while constantly healing back to full HP. You do need souls before you get online, but when you make it into late game, there's no hero better than Victor. Truly deserves the free win. Vindicta does impressive gun damage while flying above the enemy. You can now use Counterspell and Dispel magic during the flight to counter any knockdowns and stay in the sky. It is also easier to get stacks with the ult, as you still get it if they die right after you hit them, even if it wasn't the last hit. Her playstyle is as simple as fly into the air and shoot down. A tier. Viscous is a very versatile hero, and if you learn his movement tag with punches, you become almost impossible to kill. He got an insane buff and you can just spam people with punches and throw them around the map until they die, without getting actually in danger of dying yourself. S tier. Viper really is not in a good spot. She's annoying in lane with her venom, that does insane damage, but that's about it. You also really need to constantly slide to have any sort of chance to win fights, and hitting shots while constantly trying to slide around enemies is pretty hard, and once you get caught you will die as you are really squishy with no escape. D tier. Warden is another good option to pick this patch. You do really good damage and are not as squishy as other carries. Once you get enough move speed, you run and gun your way through the enemy and chase down targets. An easy pick for people who want to do consistent damage and not die instantly. A tier. Wraith got some sort of steroids from the black market, as she enters this patch with unrivaled strength. She's a hybrid spirit gun carry that melts down enemies in seconds with her new cards. You have insane damage and barely anyone wins a 1v1 against you with your ult, and even if the situation gets dangerous, you can just teleport into safety. Easy to play and pretty broken currently. The last hero Yamato is not in a bad spot, but your main damage source comes from a single ability, and even though you can stay alive for a long time with your heal and ult, it's not enough to kill enemies consistently. You're dependent on your team to follow up. It's another bruiser option for people that enjoy longer fights, but there are better options out there. B tier. I do have other Deadlock content planned, so if you want to learn more about the game, feel free to subscribe. Keep in mind that this tier list is mainly for you to use as a guide to start the game and not an accurate representation for win rate. Every hero is fun to play, and it's also good to figure out what playstyle you have. If you think I did one of your favorite characters dirty, the comment section is open to flame me. I'll update this when new heroes come out or if the patches change the meta so much that it scrambles the ranking. Now, for anyone who was wondering how pure Eternus Plus tier list might look like, quite a big shift for heroes like Sinclair that moved up all the way into S tier as players really understand matchups and push fights into their favor through itemization and counters. But I might just do a full other video going into detail about the differences. But for now, get back to grinding.